I'm hungry.
Ready for a treat! In one of the most natural collaborations ever, Kellogg's and the Girl Scouts have teamed up to bring you classic, limited edition Girl Scout cookie-flavored Pop-Tarts. Forget the order forms, these delectable delights are available right on your store shelves. Grab the two most famous flavors, frosted coconut caramel and thin mints.
My math might be a little off, but this is probably the 6th or 7th Pop-Tart review that I've done on this show. Hell, if you remember the way that I left this channel off before my hiatus, the last thing I reviewed were Pop-Tarts. How much more can a single human being talk about Pop-Tarts? The answer is not a whole lot. But this is the first time I get to talk about Girl Scout cookies. And I know what you're thinking. Djclyve, no. We realize you take a certain pride in that no one on Earth is safe from your judgment, but you must have a beating heart in that rotten zombie body of yours. Certainly you're not gonna bully the Girl Scouts, right? I look around and I see food reviewers on the internet getting hundreds of thousands of views, in some cases, millions of views. Well, I say, don't watch them. Watch me instead, because unlike all of them, I've lived a life. I have lived with my eyes wide open and observing, dating all the way back to the early 80s. So if you want the inside scoop and a perfect reference point to the way things were, I'm your man. And the fact of the matter is, life is one big-ass game, and a lot of times it plays pranks on you beyond your knowledge. I lead off with a story that I've told in a prior episode. Many of you have probably lived through the Hostess debacle that happened probably about 10, 15 years ago. The people behind Hostess and Drake's Cakes were claiming that their sales were suffering, and rather than wait for the axe to come down upon them, they made the executive decision to pull all their product from store shelves. In effect, a selective bankruptcy. They remained gone for probably about 2 years. Once again, my time might be off on that. When they announced that they were coming back, I remember being overjoyed because back in the day, I loved me some Hostess cupcakes. I loved me yodels and I loved me some devil dogs. They were a comfort food and a regular part of my toxic diet. If anybody knew these cakes, it was me. What a sight for sore eyes it would be to lay eye upon them again. Only when they returned, they were a shell of their former selves. I am not joking when I say that across the board, every snack cake re-released by Hostess and Drake's was literally half the size that it used to be. If you were to buy them by the box, it would cost about $1.50 more to get the same amount of those smaller cakes. And if you were to buy them by the each, they would cost double what they used to. But the public didn't care. And I can say this for one of two reasons. Either they were so happy to have Drake's and Hostess back they were willing to take them any way that they could get them, or their eyes were not open in the first place. They were blissfully unaware of how badly they were being screwed. I guarantee, damn you, I guarantee that this move had nothing to do with the company being close to bankruptcy. I mean, maybe they weren't seeing the profits that they used to, but rest assured, Hostess and Drake's, they were doing quite fine. They just saw a ploy to get themselves a whole lot more. And we bought into it hook, line, and sinker! All throughout my life, I have witnessed prices go up and things becoming smaller. Some of which have shrunk so much that it's borderline criminal. Hey, this hasn't been proven yet, but there are a lot of people pontificating that the 12-ounce soda bottles that you buy are actually smaller than they used to be, and you're not actually getting 12 ounces of soda. I mean, you're getting close to 12 ounces, minus, say, something along the lines of 1/100th of an ounce. You know, like one of those divots at the bottom of the bottle. You figure all the little soda that pools up in there, that's what you're missing out on. Might not seem like a whole lot, but if you look at it from a company line, if every bottle of soda you sell has 1/100th of an ounce less soda in it, then for every 100 bottles of soda you sell, it's like you've sold an extra bottle for free! Freaking scum suckers! I'm of the right mind to never drink soda again! Now, who the hell am I kidding? My peers, who might be watching this right now, know exactly where I'm going with this. Because if I were to ask any of us, of all the snacks and treats we remember from our youth, which one has shrunk the most over time? I would bet my life, I would bet my afterlife, everyone's answer would be the same. And that is Girl Scout cookies. I'm not even joking when I say the boxes of Girl Scout cookies you used to get back in the 80s were 3 times larger than the ones that you get now. In fact, these boxes are so damn small, when I look at them, I feel insulted, don't you? What the hell do you even buy nowadays that comes in a box that's so small? I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I mean, maybe Keebler cookies? They come close. I see now Oreos are coming in packages where it looks like somebody cut them like a quarter of the way through, but nothing is worse than a Girl Scout cookie box. You wonder what the hell can even fit in there? Turns out they can fit a bit of them in there because the cookies themselves are like the size of mini Chips Ahoy's. You put one in your mouth and you chew it twice and the thing's already gone. And I wish the public would do the same thing that I do and just stop buying them. And I know it's cruel to say because the money goes towards the Girl Scouts and everything, but honestly, did any of us purchase Girl Scout cookies for the charity of it? No, never, not once! You only purchase Girl Scout cookies for 2 reasons. Number 1, you haven't seen them in a while and you want them. And number 2, you were pressured into buying them. Because somebody that you know had the nerve to have a daughter. Felt good to get that off my chest. Alright everybody, well, as much as I can still talk about this, it's about time we get on with the show. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Limbo Grub Pop-Tarts Free-For-All Part 3 Girl Scouts Edition! And while I have fun destroying these cherished moments of your childhood, Wario will have fun destroying a glass of milk. And we're gonna start off with this one right here. That's it. Frosted Coconut Caramel Cookies. And my peers watching this are probably wondering right now, hey Djclyve, are you gonna go there? You bet your ass I'm gonna go there, but first off, we gotta toast these suckers.
Hear ye, get ready for a treat! Today we're serving up something special, Frosted Coconut Caramel Girl Scout Cookie Pop-Tarts. These toaster pastries are a tantalizing dream, packed with toasted coconut, gooey caramel, and a delightful chocolatey drizzle. They're a timeless favorite, enduring the test of time as one of the Girl Scouts' all-time best.
Hey! Quiet on the set! Yeah, Donut, I'll say. I thought we already established that this thing was a human. Don't sound like any human noises I've ever heard. I don't know, and even if he needed something, what the hell am I gonna do for him from behind that door? Remember that movie Prisoners? The one with Hugh Jackman? Alright, let's talk about Frosted Coconut Caramel Girl Scout Cookies. It's quite the damn mouthful, huh? Many people my age watching right now might not even know what these are. Well, I'm here to enlighten all of you. These are what they used to call Samoas. Delicious, delectable coconut shaved delights drizzled with chocolate, and everyone's favorite Girl Scout cookie. No ifs, ands, or buts. The Samoa was always everyone's favorite. I had a brother who used to say that tagalongs were his favorite. I myself claim that trefoils are my favorite. But I'll admit this to you right now. We do that just to be contrarian. We don't want to be a part of the hive mind because it's boring. We're just trying to be different. But deep down, we know that Samoas are the best. I don't even like coconuts. In most cases, I hate when coconut shavings are on anything because they're dry, they have a weird plastic texture, and they get caught in your teeth. But something about that magical balance, that ratio of chocolate to coconut, perfected in the Samoa, it was absolutely heavenly. For a while they were calling them caramel delights, spelled Deelites. And I'm to wonder, why? When you spell it like that, that usually means low calorie. And there's nothing low calorie about a Samoa, it's junk food. So maybe somebody else realized this. Maybe somebody else complained that they weren't being honest to the consumer because the company, they reluctantly had to change the name yet again. And because now they were in such a huff about it, they made them as literal as possible, and there would be no way to confuse what the hell it was. They were all patting us on the head and saying, nice morons. These are now frosted coconut caramel cookies. Leaving me to wonder, we could have avoided all of this confusion if we had just left it alone from the beginning. What was so wrong with Samoas? Prepare to get angry. Turns out a small minority of customers grouped up and issued a complaint that the term Samoas was insulting and insensitive to those of Samoan heritage. Apparently you could still get Samoas in some parts of the United States, but in other parts, I'm guessing the parts of America that had their feelings hurt, they changed their names to Coconut Delights and eventually to this horrible mouthful you see before you. I hate to be that guy, because everybody's going to start pointing at me and making assumptions. But I gotta ask, how are Samoas racist to Samoan people? Is it because of coconuts? Are people putting 2 and 2 together, or maybe in this case, 2 and 2 multiplied by x over theta multiplied by gamma equals y, and saying that all Samoan people do is climb trees and eat coconuts? It's quite a hefty leap, don't you think? I'm willing to wager not a single one of the people who complained was of Samoan descent. It's probably a bunch of grandmothers who were bored one day and needed something to do. You want to talk racist to Samoans? Look at the WWE. All you have to do to win a title over there is be Samoan. There is such a thing as reverse racism, folks. Unfair treatment is unfair treatment. Thankfully here, the folks at Kellogg's had a really easy mission to embark on. Encapsulating the taste of a Samoa in a Pop-Tart should be very, very easy. But let's not forget that those boneheaded people over at Kellogg's have messed this up before, so we got a 50-50 chance of getting this right. Let's see how it tastes. Okay, I see what you're trying to do. Normally when I choose to eat Pop-Tarts on this show, I say that between eating them fresh out of the package, toasting them, or eating them cool, they're 3 completely different experiences. You'll get 3 different tastes from each. I definitely say the way to go with this is to toast it. Because when I took this thing out of the package, you saw, the thing was very crumbly, it was falling apart, it felt almost like a dehydrated snack. There's a certain smoothness that you get out of eating a Samoa that you would not get if you were to eat it like that. Toasting it, it softens that outer shell out just enough, makes it nice and soft in your mouth, and the stuff on the inside, my hat's off. It perfects that ever so sweet, perfect balance between chocolate and coconut that a Samoa has. As a matter of fact, if you didn't know what you were eating, and somebody gave you this Pop-Tart and you were just eating it sight unseen, you'd say to yourself, well, it tastes like a coconut Pop-Tart with a light twinge of chocolate in it. That's what a Samoa is. But as much as I groused about it earlier, I think the move to make this even better than it is was to incorporate coconut shavings somehow. I mean, they're dehydrated, they stay good forever, so why couldn't they do it? I would imagine you can like sprinkle some on the frosting on the outside, or maybe even put some on the frosting on the inside. You get those coconut shavings stuck in your teeth and you'd have all that, but I mean, besides the inconvenience of that, it would make you feel like you were more eating a Samoa. That would have brought you up some points in my book. But as it stands, it is really good. It might not be in my top 10 Pop-Tarts, but it's high in my top 20. Maybe just nudging that upper echelon. If I were to give this a star rating, this one's really easy, 3.5 stars. Don't malign the good name or the not so good name of the frosted coconut caramel cookie, but my top 10 is pretty rigid when it comes to Pop-Tarts. To get in there, you gotta be really special. Those are powerhouses in there. Don't judge this one just because it didn't make it up there. It's still delicious. It's still worth your time. As for what's coming down the line, the other most well-known Girl Scout cookie flavor in the world. What the hell is this gonna taste like? I am very curious, and not in a good way. Over to the toaster we go.
Get ready for a treat! The Girl Scouts' most popular snack, the Thin Mint, is now a Pop-Tart. We're bringing that delicious fudgy chocolate and cool mint sensation straight to your breakfast table. Your mouth will thank you.
Remember the part of the movie where the guy yanks the dog on his leash? At that point I had zero compassion for him. He gets what he gets, right? Is that the guy who played the Riddler in the new Batman movie? Donut, you're not making things easier. Hey, wait a minute, this is weird coming from you! You wanted to get rid of the ghost, and now you're giving me a guilt trip for not taking care of him! Oh dear. Top 10 foods I would like not to eat first thing in the morning. Number 10, soda. Number 9, mint. Number 8, chocolate. Number 7, meat besides bacon, eggs, and sausage. Number 6, tart or sour candy. Number 5, salty snacks. Number 4, salad and or vegetables. Number 3, seafood. Number 2, anything spicy. And number 1, beer. It's low on the list, but note, unless it's that minty fresh taste of having just brushed my teeth, I don't want anything to do with mint in the morning. You ever eat a bunch of chocolate late at night, and maybe you still have some stuck in your teeth, and before you go to bed, you brush your teeth to try to get that weird taste out of your mouth, you end up putting a weirder taste in your mouth? Same exact taste! A lot of people out there championing the Thin Mint cookies. In fact, while we're talking so much about value, you might get the most for your buck when it comes to Thin Mints. Because, as they say, they are very, 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 very thin. You can pack more of them into a box. But I don't know about you, but I eat cookies for the taste, not for anything else. And mint, this might be the first time I'm ever talking about mint on the show, might be the weirdest flavor of all. It gives you a cooling sensation in your mouth, even if it's completely lukewarm when you put it in there. I'll never understand why people eat mint ice cream, like mint chocolate chip. To me, ice cream is colder than cold gets. You put mint in there, it's almost overkill. It screws with your taste buds. When I eat mint chocolate chip ice cream, I feel like I'm observing firsthand many of those lesser ingredients of ice cream that I never normally pay attention to, because my mind is racing. My taste buds are confused. They're not meant to be put through all of that. It boggles my mind that York peppermint patties still exist. Comment section down below, do you still eat these things? They're the same price as a candy bar, and candy bars cost about, well, a little bit over $2 now. A peppermint patty is something you can place on your tongue and almost swallow like it's medicine. What kind of fulfillment do you get out of that? When I eat something that's chocolatey and minty at the same time, it makes my mouth feel clean and dirty at the same time. And Thin Mints are especially weird because they have a certain dryness to them. With a peppermint patty, at least you have the soft balance of the chocolate that adds some kind of texture to it. With a Thin Mint, it's such a weird balance. The mint it's such a strong taste that it almost obliterates the chocolate, but not really. It tastes more like a dark chocolate than a milk chocolate, which also screws with the taste a bit. it's not the kind of snack that I could ever just picture myself gorging on. When I'm eating an entire box of cookies, I want to feel warm and satisfied by the end. You're eating an entire box of Thin Mints, and you're going to feel like you just inhaled a bunch of Mentolyptus tablets. Maybe Hall's throat drop tablet flavored Pop-Tarts are in our future, right? Well, if it ever happens, you know where to go to get the skinny. Could you imagine burning your mouth on a Thin Mint Pop-Tart? What the hell would that experience be like? I think that's how they killed the alien at the end of Alien 3. Could be misremembering. Let's take a bite. This is in the running for my least favorite Pop-Tart. First of all, I like to address chocolate fudge flavored Pop-Tarts. I've been pretty cruel to them in the past. To be honest, chocolate Pop-Tarts might be one of my more favorite Pop-Tart flavors. But the fact is, they're just so unremarkable, you forget about them. This, what it did, was it knew that it had mint flavors in there that it needed to lighten, so it was very smart of them to do that. There's mint flavor in here, but you barely even taste it. So what you're left with is that same chocolate fudge Pop-Tart with this nullified mint in the background. It doesn't really leave you tasting anything at all. It just tastes like you're eating warm, wet cardboard. I mean, I guess maybe when you eat towards the center of it, you taste those mint tastes a little bit more. The frosting is a little bit more dense there. But around the edges and a good portion around the margins of your Pop-Tart, you're not really going to taste much of anything. It's just like a taste that's lost in the woods. But even in the center where all the flavor lie, it's not really that great a flavor. So many bad Pop-Tart flavors came and went. I do have a bottom 10 flavors of Pop-Tarts. And I distinctly remember like a lot of those weird hyper berry flavored Pop-Tarts that were all neon colors and like radical. I definitely remember like an apple cobbler flavored Pop-Tart that was really no good. Those Jolly Rancher Pop-Tarts were the shit. This is right in that group. Like maybe not above or below any of them, but nestled right in the center. You know, funny, I just reviewed the tape, and I gave those green apple Jolly Rancher Pop-Tarts 3.5 stars. What the hell was I thinking? I don't remember ever liking those. The only thing I could think of is that they were a good any time of day kind of snack. I can't ever picture eating those first thing in the morning, because if you're eating them as breakfast food, I gotta lower that grade down to like in the 1.5 star range. Because when I'm talking about this, I mean, I definitely like this better than a green apple Jolly Rancher flavored Pop-Tart, but I gotta give it 1 star. For this is not a breakfast food. This is not an any time of day kind of food. This isn't an any time of your life kind of food. So that's your good buddy, DJ. Huh? Epps? I'm a big fan too. He was great in Juice. What the frick do we do about this? Is he ever gonna shut up? How the hell are we gonna get a moment's peace? But I'm not opening that door and feeding him. Remember he has that big gun in there? I don't have anything that would fit. If only, folks. If only I had a nice thin snack that would fit under a door. If only when you eat Pop-Tarts, they give you 2 to a sleeve. These things will just go to waste if I don't. What do I do, boys and girls? Do I feed the creature? Order up!